right, here we are again. Mm. Well, I guess the hardest deal is working yourself out here. We got a trade deal with our nemesis, China, according to our esteemed president and his Treasury Secretary, Scott Bassett. They got a deal.
They got a deal.
You heard it. That's what they said. They got a deal. I wonder what kind of deal they got. Don't know yet. We'll see. See you on the other side, people.
Welcome to the TED Ed Podcast, where we delve into the issues that shape our daily lives and drive our productivity. We confront topics that matter deeply to all of us, from healthcare and affirmative action to voting rights and monetary success and failure. We cover it all. And yes, we dive into the complex world of politics, exploring how our country has evolved from slavery to the 21st century. Our content is crafted with care and expertise, drawing from years of experience in these critical areas. We invite you to give the TED Ed podcast a listen. You won't be disappointed. Share your thoughts with friends and confidants, and don't forget to like, comment, and share our episodes. Your engagement helps us grow and reach more listeners. Are you passionate about these topics? Do you have unique insights to share? You could be one of our guest speakers. Drop us a line, send an email, or leave a comment. All requests will be considered. Join us on this journey of exploration and understanding. This is the TED Ed Podcast. Thank you, and enjoy the show.
Well, Ted, we have a tariff deal with the president of the United States and Yao Jinping from China. According to our esteemed president, who we know tells the truth all the time, he, he's not a person to squander and fool the American people. He does not. That's not in his makeup to fool us, to tell us that things are looking good and they all messed up. So people, let's give a little bit of background here. 2 weeks ago in Geneva, Chinese delegation met with Bessent and Greer and old knucklehead Commerce Secretary Ludwig, or whatever his damn name is. And supposedly they had struck up a trade deal. They dropped the China's tariffs from 145% down to 25. And so they figured that we got a good deal here. The thing is going. But guess what? Chinese never said a word about it. So Trump, his folks, is calling up China and saying, hey, we need the precious metals and everything so we can use them in our military and our car plants and all of that. And lo and behold, the folks in China said, well, you got to get a licensing agreement to get this stuff. So they went back and told old Bassett, said, well, I don't know if we got a trade agreement or not. So Trump get mad and talk crap and everything. Yeah, get loud and all that, like he the boss and he runs the show. But he ain't still hasn't got any precious metals from them. So he calls up Zhao and said, please, I need to talk to you. And Zhao avoided him for a couple of weeks and everything. And finally, Trump got on and said, I need you to call me, Zhao. So Zhao calls him and he says, okay, we'll meet in London. So they spent a day and then 2 days in London. And each day they come out. Lutnick says, yep, we're gonna get a deal here. We're looking good. Calls up Trump. Trump said, yep, we're going to get a deal. So the second day goes by, they've been there for 12 hours and they come all out, all smiles and everything. American delegation sit up there with their chests all out, said, we got a framework of a deal. Oh my goodness. But when they asked the Chinese delegation what they feel about it, they said, we want to thank the people of London for allowing us to sit down and have the thing, and we really enjoyed their hospitality. And they walks away. So Trump's telling everybody here in the United States, all the newspapers said, we got a deal with the Chinese folks and everything is fine. And they're going to give us their precious metals. They still haven't given us no precious metals yet. It's been 2 days and they ain't said nothing. The Chinese say he over their mouth and said anything about a deal or nothing. But guess what old Donald did? He did his usual taco move. Well, we're going to give this thing until August the 2nd. So taco. By August the 2nd, everything should be straightened out. He goes into a negotiation at a weak point. When you go into negotiations and you sit up there weak and you got your hat in your hand, you don't talk shit to nobody. You don't go in the thing and start shooting your mouth off before you even get there. So I guess that most of the folks around the world have been watching this crap going on, and they looking at him and saying, "Yep, that's old Taco. He talks tough, but you go hold his feet to the fire and everything, and he gonna shout, 'I give,' and walk away and tell the American people he's the art of the deal. The art of the deal." Mm, mm, mm. So I guess he got all that pressure on him now and everything, and things are going bad. So old Daddy Trump decided that he wanted to go start a war with his own people. He's gonna change the narrative. So here we are, Ted. And what, day 3 of the LA riots or day 4? I don't know. And in 2 days on Saturday, we got a military parade for the president to stand up, and I don't know what they're gonna do. They're gonna walk by and salute him or what? Hi, Heil Trump. Heil Trump.
He'll love that. He'll love that. Stop right in front of him and have the soldiers right there, all in formation. Well, this is what the white folks want, and this is what they're getting. You know, I've been studying the budget, bro, and I'm looking at all these cuts. Preschool development grants eliminated $315 million.
Million or billion?
million.
Okay.
Teacher Quality Partnership and Equity Assistance Centers, 77 million cut. Pathway to removing obstacles to housing, helping people find houses. That's in the HUD program. $10 million. Minority Development Agencies. Cut that agency out. They don't have a dollar amount. Community Development Financial Institutions Fund. Cut that out. That's about 10 million. Community Service Block Grants, gone. $770 million. DOJ grants for civil rights, gone. You know, all of this stuff here is a distraction, but at the same time, he's serving a purpose because that's what them folks want. Get as many Latino out of here. But what he's doing is he's actually hurting a lot of Black Americans. He's hurting other people too. But so those programs are going to be gone. You know, you would think that, you know, you got preschool for these mothers to drop their kids off. Environmental Protection Agency, that was connected to the budget for Biden had did $600 million. And then, of course, the U.S. Agency to International Development, which is USAID. So when you think about his little addicts, you know, that's just a show. That's a program. That's a facade. That's a, you know, to keep the media talking while he's destroying. And, you know, and grant you, some of this stuff, you know, might be wasteful, of course. When you're talking about 77 million, you're talking about 315 million, you're talking about 600 million. But that's how you lift people out of poverty. Get people educated. They just changed the law that you cannot borrow no more than $150,000 for school. That's your max. So they're doing all kind of little things that to slow up progress. And I got a feeling you're more political astute than I am. I'm just I like to call myself apolitical. But these people on both sides, and I'm sure that the reason why some people are probably against some of these programs because it's not going directly to the people, because it has to go through these agencies and these nonprofit organizations that they give this money to distribute it. And that's one thing. But, you know, I'm a capitalist. I like to think of myself as a capitalist. And the thing is, for me, the big thing is assets to capital. And right now, there's so much money out there for people to start businesses, but you got to have access to it. You got to have your business going. and then you can employ people. Do the American people as a whole have the, I would say, the drive to have a business and grow a business? Now, we got hundreds of the same kinds of businesses. We talked about this a number of times. Maintenance, car maintenance and car repair, barber shops, salons, restaurants. All of these are 100,000 folk. You get all these different same kind of businesses, retail stores and all that. But the thing is that there's no one, not a lot of people, some, is about building a business of making stuff. And that's where your real job, when you manufacturing. And, you can only, because when you got competition, it's just like if you have two restaurants side by side, they're competing. Or across the street, they're competing for business. So competition, when you being competitive and trying to get people into your doors to sell your product, whether it's restaurant or whether it's retail or whatever, it's hard to, if you don't have the capital and the assets and the material, the right people working for you, you can go out of business and they can just knock you right out of business. Well, that's what's happening. That's what happens when people don't patronize you because you might be a certain ethnic group. And let's take the typical chain of an Asian restaurant. They are everywhere. I don't care where you go. There's always an Asian restaurant. Always. Now, not so much prolific, but it's there. A Mexican restaurant. So what I'm saying is that in order to break this thing, I don't know how you're gonna break it. You can't break it because, number one, people gonna eat where they want to eat and shop where they want to shop. But the point is that that's the reason why you had this movement of Shop Black to support, because we are consumers. We are 1.7, almost $2 trillion as far as income. And we buy everywhere. We don't just buy it for black restaurants or black stores or that kind of thing, or black products. We buy stuff everywhere. And we support everything. But they don't reciprocate. Those folks don't reciprocate. Not in mass. First thing that come out their mouth is not a black restaurant. It's not a black retail store. So how do you become a capitalist? The capitalist is all about making money. You got to have a product. And if your only customer or client is black, now you're fortunate enough if you got 20,000, 30,000 people that have foot traffic into your stuff every month, then you're going to be fine. But some people don't have that because they don't support it. Not because you're not good or don't have good food, or because you're not a good, clean restaurant. It's because they don't support it. I have walked in many restaurants for dinner or lunch, and don't know nothing about the store, nothing about the restaurant. So I'm just saying, how do you compete? And then he's cutting the SBA loans because it's a DEI, getting loans to what they call minority people, so that they can start businesses. See, all of these little things that's hitting us, every cut is a little hit there, hit there, hit there, hit there, hit there. And then next thing you know, the poverty is even higher now because of those little cuts. I just want to throw that out there.
Okay. Well, speaking of the budget, according to the CBO, since January, Trump administration has added $1.1 trillion to our deficit. All of last year, 2024, Biden administration only added $1.2 trillion to the deficit. But that $1.2 trillion and everything extrapolates to that Investment Act that they had passed in Congress. So Congress went ahead and approved this big Investment in America Act. So we did something with that money and we can see it. I don't see, Ted, where that $1.1 trillion and stuff went to, other than because according to Doge, he cut out a whole lot of fat, man. We can cut out a lot of fat. So, but we still added $1.1 trillion to the deficit already this year.
And we ain't even through with what we got. What we in the 6 month?
And we haven't even, we only been 6 months into the year, right? So another 6 months, we can be what, $2.2 trillion added to our deficit if we keep going the way we are.
Well, they
They've
already predicted that it was going to be over $2 trillion.
That's without the budget now. We ain't talking about the budget. That ain't the budget added to it. This is just what he's added to it since he became the president.
So that means they're going to be $3 trillion.
Oh yeah, it's going to be a lot more
Because
than
right
that.
now they predict that it's going to. They say $5.2 trillion is going to be revenue that's been sent in for taxes. Then another $2 trillion they predicted for overspent.
Right.
So you're saying another trillion is going to be added.
Right. They've already added the 1.1 trillion already. They haven't even passed the big beautiful bill yet. That hasn't even been passed. So we're looking at without the
But he's
bill
working
being
on
passed.
2020. He's working on 2025 right now.
Right. Well, that's what they're working on now. But we already in 2025. We've already
What
added.
I'm saying is the budget that he's working on, Biden's budget right now, the monies that are already allocated for all the things that Biden want to do, or what he's doing, he's going in and cutting all of that stuff.
Right. He's supposed to be cutting, but he's not. He hasn't
So he's
cut
just
anything.
taking the money out and eliminate the program. And it's already been allocated for what it's been allocated for.
Well, according to what they put into this big beautiful bill budget and stuff, they've only got $26 billion and stuff left over from that Investment Act bill. And they want that back. They want to send that money back and put it back into the budget. So they only got $26 billion left. That's it. From his Investment Act bill. But what Scott Bessent and stuff is saying, who was a Treasury Secretary, is that they're predicting that the debt is going to be at 2 point something with the big beautiful bill. But what he just said, he's saying and stuff that they're planning on getting 2 point some trillion dollars and stuff from this tariff thing that Trump is enacting right now. They predicted that out of this thing that they're going to pull in another 2 point some trillion dollars from the tariffs. We haven't even got any tariff thing going on, no trade agreements at all. But they predicted that they're going to bring in $2.1 trillion from the tariffs, which is, and you and I both know this is a tax on the American people. So they're going to bring in $2.1 million by taxing the American people. This is what he's talking about. He sat there in the Senate and said that. He told Senator Warren that this is what they're predicting, that they're going to bring this money in, something that hasn't not even been allocated yet, but they're predicting that they're going to bring in 2 point some trillion dollars.
Oh, that's over 10 years, Ed.
Huh?
10 years.
Yeah, in 10 years.
That's the total that they figured they'll get on tariff money.
Right. Yeah, from the tariffs. They're going to get from the tariff, they're supposed to bring in 2.1 trillion.
Well, we already know that's bullshit.
I know it, but that's what he's trying to tell the Senate, people in the Senate. Well, because Senator Warren asked him, is this big, beautiful bill going to add to our deficit? And he said, no. But then he said, but the reason why it's not is because they're going to bring in this revenue from the tariffs. So she in turn reiterated to him. So you are saying, just like the rest of the economists are saying, that this is going to add to our deficit. And he said, no. And she said, yes, it is, because it's what you just said. No, I didn't say that. Man, these people, they got what they call a card game going on.
It's a big con, bro.
It's a big con, man. They conning the American people. They sit there and trying to con the American people. The only thing that is saving this whole daggone thing right now is because people in the Senate want to do some more cuts and stuff and everything to that budget. That they want to take out some more stuff out of that budget. So they're fighting over those cuts and everything. But in the heat of the dark and into the night, guess what happened to the big, beautiful bill, Ted?
What happened?
They sent it back to the House, and the House reappropriated it. And they voted on it and sent it back to the Senate again. And guess why they did it? Because the parliamentarian told them that some of those things that's in that bill that they saw doesn't meet the reconciliation that they need to get the bill passed in the Senate, where they can use a regular majority vote. So what they did was they got their bill back, and they took out all that stuff that the Senate parliamentarian had told them that would not meet the reconciliation and everything, and they voted on it. I don't know when they voted on it, because I haven't heard no votes at all. But according to them, they already voted on it, and it passed the House 217 to 209. Did you hear about the vote?
No.
I ain't heard about no vote either. But that's what they said. You out there read it. That's what they telling them. They said, "Hey, we brought this stuff back." Steve Kasich, I guess he's the House Majority Leader and stuff and everything, said they had to bring it back, and they sent that bill back to the Senate so they can make sure that it can be passed, because the Senate parliamentarians said parts of that bill that they sent to them would not pass reconciliation. So they stripped all that stuff out and re-voted on it again. Even after all these other folks and stuff in the House, it said, I didn't know this was in the bill. I wouldn't have voted on it. But they turned around and voted on it again. They passed it, according to him. we got some mess going on, bro. We got a big mess going on. I can't believe this stuff, man. This is just too much. I just can't believe these folks are doing this. I really don't. And then he was asked about the Medicare, the medical, the health part of it. And they were going, he said, this bill has going to eliminate 13 million people off of Medicaid. And they had the nerve to tell them that, well, the people that's going to be eliminated is because the healthcare is going to the illegal immigrants out there, and we're getting rid of the illegal immigrants, so we won't be eliminating 13 million people off of it, because according to them, there's 6 million illegal immigrants on Medicaid.
I wouldn't doubt it.
They
I wouldn't
not
doubt it one bit.
They don't have 6 million people on Medicaid, Ted. You can't qualify for Medicaid if you were an illegal immigrant. You can't qualify for it. Now they can go to the hospital.
It's not that they can't get on it, but their kids can.
Well, they're not illegals there.
No, they're not. They were
They're not
born.
illegal, so that's a lie. They're not.
And their kids get SSI.
Right. These children and stuff and everything are American citizens, so they can get Medicaid and whatever.
And they qualify for SNAP.
Right.
So they get money because their children are American and their parents is not making enough income, even though they're undocumented, and at the time, where they just saying, okay, well, you got 3 kids, that means you qualify. And then, because I know, because I've seen them come in the bank and they be cashing SSI checks.
But those children are not illegal immigrants. They're not. The parents are. They're not. So, yes, they can qualify for it because they are supposed to be American citizens. Man,
I understand that, Ed, but what I'm saying is this is I'm thinking like they're thinking. What they're saying is that you have kids here. You've been here for 5 years. You got 3 kids. You're not even a legal citizen. And now you want us to support your children.
well, Ted, when Trump came here and his grandfather was here, he was here. He was an immigrant. He qualified. His son, Donald Trump, qualified if he was poor to get SNAP and Medicaid. So what's wrong with the other folks and stuff? Even though they're here, they're under TPS status. They got all kind of stuff that they're here under and stuff and everything. And we actually, if they came here because of whatever, the law says that they are citizens. It says in the law, you born here on this ground, you are a citizen.
His granddaddy was a crook. He ran a whole house.
Hey, there's a lot of people who ran whole houses. Richard Pryor folks, daddy ran a whole house.
So
in Peoria.
so therefore he didn't need y'all's money.
Yeah, but he still qualified for
now,
it.
grant you, he had what you call those local stores where he sold to the gold miners, people that was looking for gold during that time, his grandfather. Then his daddy came here, and I really believe this, his daddy came here, when they came to New York. He went back to Germany, got him a wife, came back here, and then I believe he was a pimp too. And then he got into the real estate business because he probably had some stuff on those politicians. Now I'm just speculating. I ain't saying this happened, but I can just imagine because the stories I read that all of a sudden, he working at a hotel, and he working at a hotel and several hotels. I'm sure, because New York is known for their madams.
Absolutely.
So he had something going there on the side. That's all I'm saying. And then his daddy then he broke off from that, and he started getting government money to build low income housing, and that's how he made his money.
Well, he used the system and stuff and everything the way everybody else is using the system and gaming it. So I don't see it as their argument is what I'm saying. It doesn't hold water. Anyway, it doesn't hold water. That's all I got to say. But
What
my
you're
point is,
saying is true, Ed. What you're saying is true. These children are American citizens. They were born here. Their
Born here.
parents are undocumented and illegal.
right,
However, because they are now United States citizens, because anyone that's born on this earth, this
right.
land, United States, they are automatically a U.S. citizen.
Absolutely.
So they are entitled to all the benefits
And
available to them.
privileges of a citizen.
That's right. So that is correct. However, on their thinking, they don't deserve it. That's why they're taking their mama and their kids out of here.
But they are paying into the system, just like everybody else
And you
is.
know what's going to happen? They're going
They
to get
got
sued. The
they
government
got
going to get sued.
they got tax money going into the system. Their parents are paying taxes like everybody else. So
Absolutely.
paying taxes, they need to get something back out of it. I would think. That's my thing with it.
Well, they working. They working every day.
They working and they paying
Some of them
taxes.
got 2 jobs.
Some got
They
more
go
than that.
from one field to the next, or they go to one job to the next. Because
Absolutely.
they only pay them minimum wage. They're paying them, peanuts. And so they're working 2 jobs.
Right. Daddy working, mama working. And sometimes the kids is working. They put the children out there. If they 13 years old, they can go work. In some of these
Well,
states,
hey, 11,
especially
12
Iowa,
years old.
but they got them over in the chicken plants.
They're doing it.
Child labor.
They raising
Uh,
up. Go ahead.
I'm just saying. Oh, uh, did you watch any part of the hearing that they had with Pritzker and Hochul and Waltz?
Who?
Pritzker, Hochul, and Waltz.
Coco.
Hochul, governor of New York, Kathy Hochul.
He was on a
Governor,
hearing. I didn't see that
the
one.
governor of Illinois, J.D. Pritzker, governor of Minnesota.
There
Waltz.
was a hearing. They had a hearing.
Yes, they had a hearing today. They were called before the House Oversight Committee to question them about them having them being sanctuary states. A nasty event. If I was them, I'd have got up and walked out. Some of them Republicans, man, treated them like dogs. I'm telling you, especially your boy from Florida, the one who's trying to be the governor. He dogged them out, talked to them like dogs and stuff and everything. And they sat there and never said a word. They took that shit. Ain't nowhere in the world I'd have took that.
Who's
He
trying to
sat
be
there.
governor in Florida?
Who?
Who's trying to be governor in Florida?
Your brother, Donald.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, he was there. He was there in the hearing.
I'm gonna have to go check that out.
Yeah, he dogged them out bad. Talked about the reason why they people are leaving Illinois and they're leaving New York is because they're coming down to Florida and Texas and stuff where they got good government down there in Florida and Texas. And if I'm sitting there and talking to them, I say, you are a lying ass and shit. They're leaving us because you son of bitches that sit in them goddamn illegals up here on buses and shit, and we got to take care of them. That's why they coming back down in Florida and Texas. But they never said a word. They took that shit. I didn't know where in the world they took it.
Well, you know what the governor here gonna do, don't you?
Who?
The governor here in Florida,
Yeah.
he gonna send National Guards to California.
Can't send no god. I'm sorry.
That's what he getting ready to do, bro. He done already put it out there. These people are insane, man. They just do what the hell they want to do. They don't have no, no. Oh my goodness, it's just. I mean, they let these people run shot. See, that's what they get for being lenient to these people. When they didn't show up to these committee meetings, they should have put their ass in jail. They should have did Jordan that way.
The Democrats think they don't have the balls to do it. They don't have the balls to it. They don't have the balls.
That's the problem.
To do that.
That's the problem. Jordan's supposed to come up to talk about the resurrection, and he didn't even show up. He didn't even come. A bunch of them didn't come. Because when they call you to come to the committee meeting and you somebody important or you involved in that stuff, you're supposed to show up. And then if you don't, they're supposed to come after you.
They can send us a subpoena. Well, all three of them came and they sat down. They let them have the opening speech, and each one of them gave a pretty good opening speech. But that didn't make any difference because none of them folks here. They have a congressman named Higgins, and Ted, listen to what you go on YouTube and listen to what that man said. He is absolutely out of his freaking mind. I mean, he is absolutely out of his mind. Out of his mind. I couldn't believe what that man was saying. He started out okay. He started out and said, well, I know Governor Walsh. He and I used to be friends when he was here in the House, when he was a House of Representative. We was very good friends. He said, we didn't agree on a lot of things politically and everything, but he was my friend. And he got to talk and kept talking, and then he started bringing the Bible in. God told us to do this. You got to go and listen to it, man. It's horrible. I'm telling you, it is horrible. It's just too much. I couldn't believe some of the things that folks were saying.
Here's the thing in a nutshell, in my opinion. And this is a true statement. You know, if you look at the timeline, they allowed all these people in here that was undocumented. Most of the people that took advantage, and I've said this 100 times, that took advantage of was those Republican manufacturing companies in those fields allowed these people to come in because they wanted cheap labor or they just needed labor, period. And the Republicans and the Democrats allowed it to happen. And then everybody was fussing about, well, who's got the visa and this and that, and they arguing back and forth. And the bottom line is people were getting paid. Because all of them got their little group of people where they go in and speak for them and say, okay, well, how much you want? You want $1 million? You want $2 million? And so they kept on letting them come in. That's the whole deal, bro. Because in order for people to survive in business, you have to have workers. And there are people that do not want to work in no damn chicken farm. There are people that do not want to pick vegetables and fruits. So they allowed that stuff to happen here. And that's been going on for 45 years on a mass scale. And now this is what we got. We have went from the year in the 60s, there was only, according to the demographics, national demographics, this right here is in the data, it was only 20, if you go back, it was only really 20 million Latinos in this whole country, and that was including the Puerto Ricans. And now we got over 150 million Latin people in this country.
They
Now,
supposed to be here.
But what I'm saying is I don't have a problem with it. The problem is that they didn't sit up here and play political games with us, the American people, about this issue, but they're the ones that allowed it. We didn't go down there and open the gates for them and allowed it. They supposed to have they got, you know, and they're trying to say, well, we can't stop it. It's too much. It's too many people coming over. They're slipping over. They're coming in planes. They're coming in the boats. They're coming in all kinds of ways. And then a lot of people from all these other countries, besides Mexico, they're coming here, because their country is just done. So now these Democrats got sympathy, empathy, and all of that for these people, and they got children. They're trying to survive, and so therefore, what is American people? Some people have a heart, and they say we're going to help these people get on their feet. We're going to get them jobs. We're going to help them. We're going to help their children, and therefore, boom, there you go. And what they've been doing is supporting these people. Billions of dollars are spent on the border for the last, I bet you over $1 trillion in the last 45 years has been spent on that border.
Well,
and people making big checks, $75,000 or $100,000 plus, making money off the immigrants, doing nothing but riding around in cars.
If you actually want to hear the whole truth, Ted, the west of the Mississippi belonged to Mexico.
We already know that. We already know that. But it was taken from them through war.
They were the first ones here, other than the Indians. The Indians was here, and then the Mexicans had it. So actually, in actuality, they own everything west of the Mississippi belonged to
most of those Mexicans are not really Mexicans. They're Native Americans.
Right. But they were bred with the Mexican. Well, you're actually right. They are all Indians. They are Indians. Even the Mexicans and stuff and everything. Their ancestry and stuff.
Yeah, because you had the Nasdaq Indians and all those people that were they were Indians.
They belonged to
what happened was that Spain came over. You remember the Spain?
Absolutely.
War.
Spain came over and
so
took
they came
over.
They
the whole place
up there, and
they owned all that.
They started mingling with them, and then that's how come a lot of them are white, or look white, or want to be white.
You want to be white.
Yeah, you got.
Well, folks out there, this is a history lesson for all of you all. You go back and get to your history books and everything, because this land belonged to their folks down in Mexico. We took it, and they went and they took Texas from the Mexicans. They had a war and they took it.
And
So,
you had people that were from Spain. They were Mexicans, but they actually, some of them were Spaniards that was settled in Mexico.
right.
I mean, Texas.
And that is a reason why most of your Hispanic folks and everything are Catholics.
That's right.
Because Spain brought their religion over here. They bought
There you go.
houses
You got it.
over here.
You got it. You got it. And the thing is, America don't know what to do, man. I mean, the thing is that our population, man, is dwindling. It has been dwindling for the last 45 years.
They have come to take their land back to it.
That's their whole goal, bro.
And they taking their land back.
Those radicals that's running around
They come back and
waving
take
their
their land.
flag. Those are the radicals that's saying, "Hey, this is our land. This is our country."
Oh yeah, you stole it.
The ones that's got
They coming in.
the Mexican flags, they're running around
Yeah.
saying, "This is the California is ours."
It's ours. It is there. Everything in there is San Francisco, Los Angeles, San Bernardino, San Jose. It belongs to them. So this their country. So if I'm them, I'm gonna file me a lawsuit. I'm gonna want my land back. Give me my land back. I'm filing a lawsuit. It's our shit.
Yeah, that's gonna work just like we not.
I know it, but hell,
we're not gonna never get reparations for free
get
labor.
them to thinking. Put them them to thinking a little bit. You want people to start thinking just a little bit. You can change it, just like Trump changed the narrative when he was getting dogged out by Doge and busting all them, and he decided, well, shit, if I'm getting this thing getting too hot, so he just sent his troops over there to California. He changed the narrative. So that's all they doing. Change the narrative. It's our country. We own this.
Man, the Mexicans been saying that for years, bro.
Hey, they say it loud. I'm Mexican and I'm proud. Yeah, I'm having too much fun here.
Arizona is theirs too.
Hey, they own Texas. They own Texas. All of them. I'm belong to them. That's what the Alamo did. They came down there and stole their people's land. Final word, Ted.
I encourage people to, I know it's kind of boring, but go look at that 2026 proposal budget. I'm telling you, he cutting and eliminating a whole lot of stuff. So I don't know, man. To tell people to tighten up their belt, that right there is too easy to say, because right now we don't know what's going to happen. They talking about bringing stuff back here, but I don't believe they're doing that. I think they're trying to get as much cheap labor as they can. I don't know what their game plan is, but I think what they decided that anybody that's making money off of Latinos, too bad.
Well, they got a joker in the deck, Ted. All them folks who created this Project 25, they wrote all this stuff up, but they never thought about the joker that's in that deck.
What's the joker here?
Trump. He's the joker. He's the joker in the deck. They can't do nothing with him. He is the joker in the deck. He's the one that's going to break them up. He's the one that's going to mess that whole daggone Project 2025 up. He's already messed it up. Go back and look at it. He's messed
Well, just to let you know, you say they messed it up, but that's not what they're doing. This is long term for them. They've been working on this for 40 years.
Oh yeah. Well, but he's still a joker because they can't control him. They don't know what to do with him.
No, they're gonna get their people in there. They got their people in the government already, and all over the country. So, they just waiting their time. They know Trump gonna leave, but they're gonna have their people all in all kind of positions.
Well, I believe in everything that the idea that they had and everything. They did not have the people that they were expecting to take over and do what they wanted to do. They are not qualified. They're not trained to do anything. So that's going to be their big downfall and their big problem, because they can't. Those people, they already you saying the Health and Human Services Kennedy and stuff and everything, he's already talking about bringing back some like 400 or 500 of those CDC people and stuff that they fired. They hiring them back. They cannot run those agencies and stuff and everything without those folks. So if you bringing those people back in that you have just fired, what do you think them folks going to do? Are they going to be good employees? Or they're going to sit back and do what they did in Trump's first term? They're going to do whatever they can to thwart whatever plan that he's got going on. That's my final word. Anything you got to say? You all done? You all done? You all done. He does. Everybody does. So anyway, I don't believe that this stuff is going to go through to it. I really don't. They got some flaws and stuff and everything, and them flaws is showing. I mean, the things is showing, and this whatever they got going on, this stuff is not going to. It's not going to work. Watch and see. Mark my word.